in formation to what the requirements were from the beginning, and that's where he should have stood. The host, Mr. D. Manning, that's where it should have stood with the black, as it was stated from the beginning, and the rules just continue to change, and that's going to be redundant. But I agree with Amber in that respect to what occurred in the whole event.
Thank you, Mr. Randolph. Mr. Manning, welcome back. You may give some final remarks on anything that you've heard before my deliberation, and then we will be going to the Coming Cousin jurors for the final results of this trial.
I would first like to say y'all definitely covered everything that transpired. I also want to make sure y'all keep in mind this is a live show. So again, nothing is forced. We're not demanding anybody to participate or anything like that, but this is a live show. Please keep that in mind. That's it, and that's all. Y'all have done a great job tonight.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Well, people, we have made it to 1 million taps. We have made it to several shares, and we have made it through the torment of this all. I must give my final... God. Now hear me out. I will go from the beginning to the end of this case. Let's start with the beginning. In the beginning, Manning stated that there were no participants in this competition. No participants. There was no award, no participants. You know how we do. Midway in this thing, Manning decided that there would be a fee that will be given out. Money talks, bullshit walks. We came from $50 to $100 in no time. Participants started lining up. Let's get into the participants. I will not jump through the states, but over the broom. God, participant number 1. Give me a second. Jesus, what did we just...
You're fond of that nature. Could you tell Amber to calm down? She thinks she's still in the baddie competition. And wasn't nobody out that window while you going out there looking, trying to show them fun.
We do like for our jurors to come and sit on camera if they may. Please, no disruption.
Looking out the window and shit like somebody outside. Anybody out there?
In the Jew joint. Let's talk about... Oh, God. Kelsey. The very first contestant. If I had to vote, Kelsey did not have on black top, black bottom, but Kelsey had on a black dress. Kelsey was in complete, to me, Kelsey did good. She did a big one. Kelsey was sexy. Kelsey gave baddie. And at the beginning of this, if my mind serves me right, Mr. Manning did call this a baddie competition. Moving on to number 2, a bonnet and a moo-moo, disqualified. If I had to go by the beginning. But I heard the judges give her leeway. They started questioning her and made her feel comfortable. So she was a participant out of order, according to the ones that are responsible. Queen Jules told us she had a baddie bonnet on.
It's possible.
Baddie number 3, Miss V. Damn near looked like the Jetsons tonight. No disrespect to her, but where was she going in her gold and purple? She was giving rules along the way her damn self. She screamed and hollered for 5 minutes for a salsa. Disqualified. You did not come up prepared. But I blame the host. Oh, God. Number 4, the fucking bunny hop. What the Easter bunny with no basket is going on here? No eggs, no basket, no collar, just a fucking rabbit? Disqualified. qualified. But the host, okay, number 5, Quay. She came in asking questions. At that moment, something could have been explained. But instead, play that shit loud for the hoes in the back started playing. No other music. I noticed. We heard them fussing about FOE. Why did we play Quay's song? That too allows favoritism to come into play. Come on, somebody. I am the judge, but I have to be fair. You know that's a hype song. Did you play any songs for any other people present at your giveaway? At Quay, I heard one person say rules and another say instructions. Quay was doing what she was told. Rules and instructions. Which one do I do? Again, this was made up as we went. I love them, but I must be truthful. God. The Incredibles. This wasn't incredible. This that bullshit. Where did he even come in at? Was this a costume party or nah? The fuck? My daughter and her best friend was the Incredibles 6 years ago. What kind of bullshit was this, man? And then he had a broom, no salsa, no water, no play, just bullshit. Okay? This was not a moment. Oh, girl. Number 7, Drop's daughter. She brought her A-game, y'all. Black top, black bottom, 2-piece. She even had the pan, the tin thing with the bottle in it. With some ice. She strutted from one end to the other. Now her mama, it wasn't your business. But I understand mama being mad about her cheerleader. It's a Lifetime movie for some of us mamas. She showed up in makeup. She showed up in black on black. She showed up with the bottle. She showed up like a bottle girl. Her props were on point, but she did not get accolades for it. Now, her mama should have stayed out of it. It would have been a better fight and a better case had Drop Queen stayed out of it. But because she does, and she's a mama, wait a minute. But let me tell you where she fucked up at. Where were you and where were your antennas at the beginning of it so you could have articulated the rules that were not in place? Had you not been somewhere in the hallways watching and getting your daughter prepared for the competition, you probably could have pointed these things out. You were wrong for how you talked to Quay because it wasn't Quay's fault for what she was allowed to do in another man's competition. That $100 was won because of votes. You were wrong. Big Remy, not the little one. Puripo. Contestant number 8. I didn't have one, so I didn't count that many, unless one was missing. Now, let me tell you something. I do believe this. I do believe that if Manning and Queen Jules wants to continue this, that they do need to get some rules and they need to stick to the rules. I think that the rules should be discussed on the backside before they ever presented to us in 4K. Because we are the type of people that if everything does not pan out the way that it's supposed to, we're going to be right here where we are, back in the juke joint. Now, Quay won because of the votes. Manny said that they entwined or introduced to the audience a different look of how this will go. It's not Quay's fault that she won. It's not Drop Queen's fault that her daughter lost. To me, they all winners. But since she feels as though, and she's screaming like her daughter isn't a winner, I have to use her actions. But her daughter came in as a winner. Her daughter had all the things together. She had her props right. She simply just had a mother who was in her feelings. I do believe that today, after we put the thing up, the poll, Drop Queen owes Quay an apology. You should not have been that upset. It's not about the $100. It's about the principle. Quay did exactly what she was asked and told to do, as well as your daughter. Whether the audience voted for her or not, it's not on us. It's probably on you. Had you not been so loud wrong and just always got something negative to say, your daughter probably would have pulled it off, because if I had to vote, she and Kelsey should have been the last two standing. They both had black on, and they both had props. But unfortunately, sometimes we can interfere in the facts and what our children deserve in life. Sometimes we got to sit this one down, sir. So if I had to do a ruling today, Drop had every right to be upset, but her right to be disrespectful is not warranted here in this juke joint.
So you agree with me?
You should learn some decorum, and you should learn principle, and you should learn facts. Everything that happened today happened on facts. Each contestant was given different rules according to the performance, according to the outfits, basically. Mumu and Bonnet was allowed to feel as though she was in the right place at the right time, as well as every other contestant. So if I had to make a decision today, Drop Queen, you were wrong. Quay was right. Manning and Queen Jules, work on it. Good jesters, good thing, but not organized. With that being said, we must put a poll up. Empress, if you are ready, is Drop Queen guilty for all charges that have been presented today in this final ruling? Did Drop Queen step out of order by charging Quay? Drop Queen should have charged the person that she sits up under comfortably every day.
Judge, are you leading? Are you leading the Comic Cousin jury? Because
no, I'm asking, why is she guilty? People want to know why she's guilty. Because she is guilty of charging.
She's guilty before they already whatchamacallit it. How you gonna say she guilty before they even voted? You can't tell. That's what I meant by leading them. It's because like you're already saying she's guilty.
If you listen, I said if I could give a verdict. That doesn't mean they're going to agree.
This is crazy, Judge. I'm starting about to declare a mistrial.
It's not. It's not. I said that Drop Queen had every right to feel like she felt, but she did not have a right to go after Quay.
I agree with you, Judge.
Is not responsible.
I agree with you, Judge, and we agree with that. But I thought that you asked the question was, did she have a right to feel away?
I'm asking, is
touching
she
me? And if that bailiff keeps touching me,
Mr. King, is Drop Queen guilty of charging Quay up for no reason? Because she charged up Quay, and she's been cursing out Quay for 3 days, and Quay did not set the rules. So that is the question.
I agree with you, Judge. I just remember the first question you asked: did Drop Queen take it too far, and did she
I'm
have a
gonna
reason?
ask another question. Does Drop Queen have every
Touch me
right
again, Judge. Tell him to.
there? Y'all, okay, listen. Hold on. Calm down, y'all. The poll is up. It is above the host's head. It's 1,900 people in this room. Well, 900 of you at least vote. This is the part that pissed me off. Y'all come sit in these rooms, and when we need the numbers, you don't participate. We need the numbers.
Y'all tap the vote.
Participate. Tap the screen, share the live, and vote. Is Drop Queen guilty for charging Quay up? We got a couple of more questions. Was Drop guilty of being a bad representation of a momager? 625 votes came in. Yeah, 84.32%, and 15.68 said no. So Drop is guilty of that. Now, is Quay guilty of anything that she has been charged of, mainly coming from the other components? Did Quay do anything wrong? That is the poll. Did Quay do anything wrong?
Including all the rules she broke, or outside of that?
That's including, well, what rules did she break, Mr. King? Because we do
All
have to
of
get
them.
back to Drop Queen.
Every single one of the
Drop
rules she
Queen
broke.
feelings being valid, because that's the next question.
Big Quay should not have won that competition. She broke every rule possible. She had a biased judge. She's friends with the host of the
We
competition.
cannot do that because she was voted on by, they said the poll is wrong. They said the poll is wrong. Check the poll.
A mistrial, Judge.
No, because the next question is Drop Queen valid for her feelings minus the disrespect? Is Drop Queen guilty of disrespecting Big Quay? Here we go. Hell yeah, 71.84. Nah, 28.16. 586 votes. Y'all voting fast. We'll take those numbers. Drop Queen is guilty of disrespecting Quay. Very guilty.
They said they voted wrong because the poll was wrong. So are you going to still count that or strike it from the record?
Let's do it over. Here we go. Question. Listen. We're going to do that one over. Is Drop Queen guilty of disrespecting Big Quay? Now that y'all hear it, the poll will be up above the host. They can read, but let's do it over. Is Drop Queen guilty of disrespecting Big Quay? This is good to me. Poll is up. 1 minute and 30 something seconds left. That was the question. That was the question prior, but he stated that I said something different, and we want to be fair here at the Jeep Joke. So, was Drop Queen guilty of how she treated Quay, basically? Quay is not on trial, but we have been accused this week of Quay doing something wrong. Next question, Empress. Does Drop Queen owe Big Quay an apology? The reason asking is because when you go back and listen, Quay did not disrespect her at all.
I heard it when Drop Queen joined. She said, "Get her out of here." So on Messy Talk, it's a place like if you're telling somebody to get out.
Adrena, stop making him, please.
Yeah, thank you, and
I'm trying to hear what he's saying, Adrena.
Thank you guys so much, Big Quay and Adrena. I'm so glad she let me know it was you. You will be on my docket later. I will say this, Nitra. On this side of the topic, they say you can't really police people's responses. So I did hear Quay say, "Get her out of here" to Manny. So I feel like my client
proof of that.
Yeah, we played it. We played proof of everything else. If you get your video player back up here or something, maybe. But once you tell somebody to get out of here and you disrespect them first, you can't really police someone's disrespect. Maybe she felt like it did warrant the B word. I will say that. But on this side, if you start with somebody else might finish it with you.
Is Drop Queen guilty of disrespecting Big Quay? 790 votes. Thank you. 92.91% said your client is guilty, Mr. King. 7.09 said no. Almost 800 people said that she is guilty of disrespecting Quay. With that being said, hear me out, Mr. King, whether you like it or not, and whether it happens or not, we do have to come up with a verdict. Does Drop Queen owe, or let's say this, because we don't owe nobody nothing but love, that's biblical. Should Drop Queen apologize to Big Quay in this matter? Should Drop Queen apologize to Big Quay in this manner? With the poll votes that we have, we must come up, Mr. King, because your client is, she's very relevant for her feelings, but she is guilty in some areas against Quay. We will be putting up a ruling on what we think should happen in this incident, whether it be Drop Queen apologize and they go their separate ways. No, we ain't got to fuck with each other no more. But what will happen in this situation? Or will it simply stop here and we move on? The poll is up. We are going to ask if she has a right to be upset. We are going to ask that question. That's the next one.
And
I think it's only fair that we ask if she has a right, and it's been determined in the allegations, not the allegations, the deliberation, that she had every right to feel like she feel. I'm a mama. If I'd have saw all that I just saw tonight, and my daughter was in a competition, I probably would have picked out in fact, I know I would have. I would have picked out every rule that was not implemented right. So that's just me. If there's rules in place, I'm going to want the rules to stick when it comes down to the award. So, but
approach the bench, Judge, real quick. May I approach the bench?
Let's get to the poll. And after the poll, I just like to be honest in the court cases. One thing about the court cases, I am really in character to be in character. I'm going to tell the truth regardless to who I like or don't like. I'm going to tell the truth. I do think that she does deserve to apologize to Big Quay, and I think Big Quay did what she was asked to do. In fact, I think every contestant did what they were asked to do. I think that different rules, different contestants. I think the rules came through. Each time somebody came up, they gave them a rule, and every rule was not the same. Only rule that was the same was the saucer, but some of them didn't even have water in their saucer.
Agreed, Judge. And for this ruling, Drop Queen won't be apologizing to a soul.
Should Drop Queen apologize to Big Quay in this manner? We have 623 votes. 87% said yes. I agree with the 87. Nah was 13%. So I do believe that at this time, the Jew joint would expect an apology, which we will not probably get. I will say this. It has been brought to the attention, which is true. Drop Queen's daughter did have the props for a bottle woman, but she did not have the props for what Manning and Queen Jules asked for. She did not have a plate, saucer, or a cup with water in it. So I must say that if we have to be 100%, no one really had everything 100%. They said she did. I don't think she did. I thought she had bucket thing. She didn't have a saucer. She didn't have a
She
bucket.
had the bucket as well as. So she had the bottle with the bucket, walked down, put it down, then grabbed the plate and the saucer, came back, twerked that ass, and really won the
So she had
competition.
both.
She had it all. She went above and beyond, I will say.
Okay. She had both. She did. Big Ray says she did. Plastic. Which it doesn't matter if it was plastic or not. So with that being said, our Mr. King has let us know that Drop Queen will not be apologizing. This court has ruled today that Drop Queen was very disrespectful, and that if we had to vote today, that the ball was shorted on the home team, not the visitors. If I may say that respectfully.
Thank you.
The ball was dropped from the host. I love Manny and I love Queen Jules. But at the beginning, the contestants are not the ones that failed. It's the ones that put it on. I do believe that Quay won fairly, respectfully, according to the rules that were implemented from everybody, if I said that right. Everybody did what they were told to do. And everybody came out the way they were supposed to. With that being said, this case has been ruled in favor that Queen Jules should apologize to Quay. We know now she's not. And if we have to ask for punishment, Mr. King, we will be bringing a punishment phase. Not Queen Jules.
No,
Drop
you
Queen.
already said Queen Jules.
Well, you know I mean Drop Queen.
No,
Drop
Queen Jules was just found guilty.
Peaches, please strike from the records that we mean drop and not Queen.
Too late. It's too late. Queen Jules is guilty
No,
of this
it's
case.
not. With that being said, Mr. King, we are going to ask that your client respectfully,
Not Queen Jules. I'm so sorry.
Miss Drop Queen, if you could please, could you get some decorum? We understand she's upset. Everybody loves their children. But if we could get some decorum from her and refrain from the bitches and hoes and all that, because FOE is not at fault for the winner, respectfully. But it does fall on the hands of the two people that hosted this event. Thank you, respectfully.
Judge, did I hear you correctly? You said it falls on the two people that hosted the event, the host and the
I
co-host?
think if we had to fight, if we had to blame anybody,
It would be them.
it would be the two people.
I understand and I agree,
If
Judge.
they accept that, it would be the two people that hosted it, and that they just, it was made up as it went. It was fun. It was entertaining. They gave their feedback. They loved it. They liked it. And everybody was just having fun. Competition. But there was no participants. So money
He did
talks.
know because he turned it into a competition. I will say
Yeah,
that.
but I was just going to say money talks and bullshit walks.
So, Miss Anitra, I'm so glad we're on the same page. Manny is at fault here. My other question is, and I know this is your hair Jew joint, would you be able to ask that question that you said that you were going to ask maybe for my client? Did she even at least have a right to be mad? Because other parents
Yes, I will.
that said that they would have been upset too if they brought their child to a competition that was rigged.
It's fair.
Okay.
With that being said, Manning said no complaints. They will take total responsibility. It's still 1,900 people in here. Can we get 600 of you? Empress, one final vote. Did Drop Queen have a right to be upset after the ruling came in? No. Does Drop Queen, or did she have a right to be upset? Now, I'm not saying that she have a right to be upset with Big Quay, because she didn't.
Thank you.
But did she have a right to be upset
Correct.
with the rulings?
Correct. That's all I want to know. I just want to at least have one poll just for that.
Yeah. I think it's okay. I don't see no harm in it. I see some saying
Thank
yes. I see some saying no. With that being said, This will be the final voting before this case is adjourned. And the next case against Tracy will be tomorrow. I'll be damn. It's almost 9 o'clock.
And I will say this, just for this question, we're not saying that there might have been misplaced anger. We're just saying, was she able to be upset in general, not at Big Quay? We know the anger might have been placed somewhere, but was there any reason for her to be upset at all, is the question that's being asked. Thank you, Nitra.
And Michelle did say, hear me out, while you all are deciding on your votes, Drop Queen, that is, did allow for her daughter, which her daughter's grown, to participate after seeing the bonnet, the moo, the rabbit, the Incredibles. She still went in full throttle after seeing that nobody has stuck to those rules. So does Drop Queen, have the right to be upset after her daughter participated in this incident?
It's so crazy, Judge Trendsetter, because after I see a whole bunch of people breaking the rules, I would be so happy to see that, because I know I'm going to bring my daughter in, or my person in, with all the rules being followed. That'll be an easy victory if we're doing things by the book. I see all these people breaking rules. All I should have to do is have you all have on a black top and black bottom. You should win. So I would be loving to see a motherfucking bunny rabbit hopping. I would love to see an Incredible. You could even put another motherfucking uniform up there. I would have said, watch this. So I would have thought, maybe I'm going to come in and do the right rules and win the competition.
We have 18 seconds. I hope you all voted. This is good to me. This has been a case 4 hours long, guys. We're not doing another one tonight. These cases be long. One a day. I don't see how Bella do 5 and 6 and 7. Because 4 hours, hey, did Drop Queen have a right?
He's a beast.
To be upset with the rulings. 618 votes came in. 63.59% said Drop Queen had a right. 36.41% said she didn't. With that being said, the people have voted that Drop Queen had a right to be upset with the rules.
Thank you. I knew it was one in there. I knew you had it.
And let me clear something up, Mr. King. The reason why we only get to have one good case, basically two, is because we thoroughly go through it with a fine-tooth comb. And we don't let people just come up and argue. We let people have a voice, and we do one by one, and we hear the case all the way out to the bottom.
Understood. And I love that.
Just saying, we really do work it out over here. I'm sorry, no disrespect, but we have clock tea over here and coffee for all guests, respectfully. With that being said, this case has been adjourned, and I don't know if anybody's going to bring her to the docket. Manning is wanting to come up. I want to say thank you to my jurors. I will say that this case was not in the hands of FOE, but that it was in the hands of all jurors from all over the platform, because we did not want to hear that favoritism is what won over here. We wanted a steady case, a case that was heard, and I think it came out to some good fairness. I do. So,
can I say something, Miss Nitra, please?
Yes, you may, Shantanya.
Okay. No, it's Queen Jules, Miss Nitra.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Miss Nitra, you ready to get down? I would say this. I listened in and out. My daughter just left. But I did hear some very key points. And prior to my company coming, I participated. I understand how everyone feels. I'm hearing from every angle, and I'm going to say I agree, right? But this is what I feel. If you are going to be as serious as you are now, and I appreciate it, when you have disclaimers, like, when that fine print and all of those fine words are down there, there's a lot of information down there. Drop Queen came late and didn't participate after she agreed, right? She should not have been able to even enter her daughter into the competition at all.
This court is over. I know I can't get charged no more
Because
But is
outbursts,
that
listen,
Queen
something
Jules.
that
no.
happens
You the one
on
that should have
you
said
and
that.
No, wait.
You the one that should have said
Let
that
us
just
hear
like
it. Let
that.
us hear it,
I'm just
because
giving commentary. It's okay. Listen.
Tell
yes,
nobody
yes,
about
yes.
fine print because
Yes, but what I'm
No,
saying
no,
is if
Adrena,
you go to
now
work
please,
late, wait a minute. If you go to
oh
work, if you do not show
no, she
up for
just said
work, your ass get
Adrena, please
fired.
don't do that again.
Adrena, she got this. Nitra got me. She know how to shut me up. Respectfully, Queen
Yeah,
Jules, you
Wait,
can't
so
talk about
Bray
no
Queen, I'm
fine
gonna
Gravy.
ask
print.
you.
Let me land my
Let
plane,
us hear from
please.
her, Bray Queen, first.
Please let me land my plane. If you do not show up for work, you can have a short staff that will mess up the whole
Exactly what it is.
operations of a business. Okay, including a lot of errors. There's a lot of issues that can happen when you don't show up for work. Okay, and it's grounds for dismissal. So what I'm saying is Drop Queen was very irresponsible, very unprofessional. She did not let us know she wasn't coming or participating, right, in a proper notice. She should not have been able to even enter her daughter into the contest.
So who does
Straight
that
up.
fall on, you or Manning?
Thank you, and man, please, Judge,
Who
please,
does
please,
that
Judge,
fall
you
on?
got
It has to
No, that
fall
would have
on
been
the
our
judges.
decision. That would have been that should have
Judge,
been our
please,
decision. But we weren't
Judge,
as
please,
strict as
Judge.
I would have been. Do things that I would typically do, but I didn't take it that deep. Really, I didn't. I ain't gonna lie. It
So,
wasn't
I
that
will
deep
Judge,
for
have to
me.
say it for if y'all were on trial right now,
Well,
I
this is
ain't gonna
not
use the
real trial
poetic.
anymore.
But you just really basically said that Drop Queen's daughter should not have even participated,
Correct, based on her
but
daughter's
you
neglect
all
and her duties.
allowed,
Okay,
but
can
you
I get
all
in here?
allowed for her to
Bonjour.
participate,
And
right?
I agree with you, but what I'm saying is if we wanted to really get down to business based on all of the information that I'm hearing, she
You don't
should,
have
if y'all really wanted to talk about what is fair, Drop Queen shouldn't have never been able to participate in any of it all the way across the board or
then
her
I would be
affiliate.
inclined to think so. Judge,
only
I mean,
thing I
Queen Jules,
want to
real quick, man,
say
if you didn't
out of
mind, real quick. I know
here
we're both speaking
is
at the same
that
time, but I was trying to
Yeah,
squeeze
and
in a
then I want
rebuttal
to hear
for
from
you.
Manning, because how does this sound coming from someone
Yeah,
that
Queen
believes?
but
Jules.
no, I just
I
want to
just
say
want to say
Queen
this
Thank you
Jules,
for
real
the
quick. She
gift,
did just
y'all.
say I could
Queen
go,
Jules,
Manny. She
and
said I could
Queen
go
Jules
this. She
can
wanted to
speak
hear from
on how
you.
she want to
She
speak.
said I could go
But
this.
I'm just saying that I
She
respect
wanted
the
to
Let him
hear from
vote,
speak,
you. You
Mr.
didn't hear that
King.
part from the
Mr.
judge.
King, let him.
I
just like
understand,
in
and I
my
see that you were
life.
still going to keep
There were
talking.
votes. I
So
respect
I
the
was gonna
votes of
every time
you.
you speak, I
Okay,
am gonna keep saying
Mr.
stuff because she
King,
told me to
Mr.
go on before
King,
you.
is that I respect the
please.
Oh,
votes.
you want to hear from
Now
her?
that's
Him now?
me. Yes, I want to hear from him. We've been up here. Let's hear from the host after the co-host of that event had something to say as far as incriminating the judgment.
You know,
Mr. Manning.
I was gonna say something simple as I respect the votes. Just like in my room, there was a voting process, just like you utilized the same voting process in your room. So I respect the votes. It came down to the votes. The people voted. You didn't vote. The panel didn't vote. It came down to the same audience that goes to various rooms. So
Right.
I'm glad that they
Agree.
were able to make the final decision, just like they made the final decision in my room. So I appreciate them doing their job yet again to cast that deciding vote.
Shanana.
That was amazing, Manny. That was really amazing, and I agree with you there. I didn't even have too much to say to you, Manny, at all. I just wanted to speak to Queen Jules and her opinion and what my client should have done and about shit that should be dismissed in fine print. Queen Jules,
Agree.
I
It should be
no,
dismissed.
if you just didn't, you're interrupting me yet again. It should have been dismissed, and all of this shit should have been dismissed. We're talking about reading fine print and shit like that, and I'm pretty sure that the fine print on those marriage certificates says no adultery and no cheating, and I know that that's grounds for a divorce.
Mr.
So that
King,
I
that
will
is
say this.
irrelevant.
No, it is
This
relevant. She
case,
can't tell me about no fine
Mr.
print when she don't read
King,
fine print.
damn,
Fucking
bro.
with motherfuckers' husbands
over.
and shit. She know what the
That's
fucking
over
grounds for
at
adultery
Tea
and
Times
this for a
Live.
divorce.
Don't talk
That's
to the
over
judge
at
that way,
Tea
King.
Times.
He's trying to get
Please.
some coins. It's okay. Y'all struggling. I
Got some.
understand.
I got some.
All right.
Mr. King, we're
So,
gonna we're gonna drop you down. We appreciate you, Mr. Attorney.
Judge, I'm out here. Thank you, Judge. Thank y'all so much, Jude Joint. I appreciate y'all for real.
Yeah,
bye.
Not too
yeah,
I
much
Get
love
on
out
you,
of
drop.
Miss
here.
King.
Yes, okay. Woo! Queen Jules,
Yes,
thank you
ma'am.
for being honest. We did hear from your co-pilot,
Yes.
Manny. Let us hear from you. Are there any things that you all could put in place with the next giveaway, if possible, to hear from you?
I would say we've learned a lot with this experience, even how to set the whole competition up, if I may. So I would say, like Manny, we talked about different categories. The bunny and the the superhero made me think of Met Gala. It just gave me that whole Met Gala vibe, even though they did the most, right? And so there were older baddies and then there were younger baddies. So we learned from this. And I think that next time we would do a whole lot better. And I appreciate you guys giving us this feedback, a lot of feedback on how to approach it next year. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
With
Thank
that
you.
being
Bye
said,
bye.
Kelsey, we saw you. You did your big one. Unfortunately, it wasn't big enough to be a winner. But you look good. Body was bodying.
Thank you, thank you. I thought so. Cody's body was nice. I thought it was up there. Even the bunny, I like that bunny. Yeah, with its tail, it was a shaking its tail,
Hey,
so it was white and
hey,
pink.
hey.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Unfortunately, I can't. I just can't. But Kelsey, you did your big one. We appreciate you being able to participate in something as trying as this, a bottle chick in all black. Imagine that. But if that happens, yeah, we gonna have to. Yeah, Kelsey, I love you. Charge it to my head, not my heart. We'll see you up here when you get your radio turned down. It's just a little too much for me, y'all. I'm sorry. Uh,
What's a
oh,
hell?
this was a good case here, y'all. I try to be fair over here in the juke joint. Bye bye, Shatanya. Thank y'all for real. Everybody that participated. I feel like it was a good case. Shell, how do you feel with your daughter being on, not on trial here tonight, but just a participant? How do you feel, mother? Did you feel like any justice was served? Girl.
Well, it pretty much it worked out the way that I had anticipated.
Okay, period.
Out of the four polls that went up, three of those polls vindicated my daughter, which I knew they would, and the one that Miss Lady actually won on the poll. I think she was satisfied with that because I think ultimately throughout this entire ordeal, she just wanted to say she wanted something. So thank y'all, comment cousins and voters, for giving her that one out of the four polls that she did win, and she was able to walk away with some kind of victory.
My Lord. Girl, this is good. Thank y'all for the encouraging words. Poetic.
Thank y'all for the gifts.
My God.
You did an excellent job being non-biased in this. You really did, because the way she drug you and the way she drugged me was just out of line. Because
Ooh,
I
Magic,
sat
turn me
here,
on!
Do it up, Mirka.
I sat here, and it was hard for me to be non-biased. I do agree that she has reason to have grievances, but it's at the wrong people. Attacking Quay Mama, me, Nitra, Slim, she's attacked everybody. But the thing is, she didn't say anything to the two people that were hosting the show, that were making up the rules as they went along. And they even said that. I appreciate them for being adults and being able to say that. And instead of her having an adult conversation to drag people, to call people out of their name, to say people are using drugs, all the stuff that she did, it was unnecessary and it was unacceptable. Learn how to be an adult and have a conversation, and then
Magic,
people will
turn me
side with you.
on!
Scooter, please let her talk because this is very necessary.
And people would side with you more, and people would be more open-minded if you had a conversation with people versus lashing out, and the first thing you want to do is drag people and call them out of their name and say, oh, I'm part of FOE and I'm just siding with Nitra. And if I hang around somebody like Nitra, I must be a horrible person too. That is a horrible, mean, angry woman. That is what that is. And it is hard. And I am a nice person, but then you push me and you push me so far, I can't take no more. And then I'm gonna have to fight back. She always says she come out fighting when she feels attacked. I've been silent for a long time. Last time I went off actually was May 13th, 2024. Here it is, May 13th, 2025, and I'm going off again. But it was unnecessary, and I don't appreciate the way that I was treated. It was actually kind of effed up. And I think she owes me, you, Quay Mama an apology, FOE an apology. She owes a lot of apologies out that I know that she will never give because she's not a humble woman. She's an angry woman.
I'm with you when you're right. I agree. I do think that she, especially Quay, I think that she called Quay bitches and stuff for nothing. It was all a fun competition that turned sour into where we in court with it. I don't think that you deserve to be even drugged into this, and I do apologize, Poetic. We should be able to have the friends that we want. In fact, I got drugged into it, and I only went up to Manage to ask what happened because I really didn't know what was going on, and I got cursed out. Only thing, which it don't matter what I said, it don't matter. But she don't have to apologize to me. But I do believe that Quay deserves a freaking apology. I think you do, and anybody else that she drugged into this because she was upset. Hey, Hell Kid, thank y'all for the gifts. Thank you to Magic Chef. And so whether she apologizes or not, I hope that by listening to this, that she really can admit to her faults and where it could have went differently. Because there were some hiccups in the host. I acknowledge that. There were hiccups in the host. But to bring anger out and not have a conversation before the anger, it's just unacceptable. She could have easily said, now, Manny, come on now. You got a bunny in here. You got this. You got that. Even after the fact that your daughter competed, knowing these things, then you could have still made right.
Can I say something, Miss Nitra, Auntie? So look, this is what I was gonna say. I never disagreed with her daughter having a chance to win it as well, right? Right. It was never that was never my position. My position on it was the people's vote. It was from the gifts to the poll, and that much I knew. So when her daughter came up with the props, I was a little nervous. I just kind of knew I didn't have it, to just being transparent. I kind of knew I didn't have it. But, if we talking about personality, because questions was asked, we talking about cups and plates, because it was asked to get walks, struts, I guess body, face, whatever. It's different categories that I think won it for me. And I think my personality won it for me because I'm not as known in the newsroom as she thinks I am. Definitely not as known as she is. And, to be honest, as far as the apology, if she feels like it's warranted, I feel like she could do it. But if she feels like I don't need no pity apology, but I know for damn sure if she is an adult, that she knows that she was out of order for that. But,
Well, they said she at the bottom.
So I don't. What
she at the bottom? So
she want to come up here. She don't want to come up here during court, but she can come now. Didn't somebody do that the other day?
Remember, he said she wasn't gonna speak there in court.
Yes.
Well, I don't care who tells it.
But people keep saying that I should have had an adult conversation. That's what I was trying to do. I went to Manny. That's why I went up in the box to speak to Manny and Queen Jules. And I was attacked by Quay telling me, get her out of here.
The court is over, babe. You don't have to lie.
They just listened to it, and my lawyer just repeated
Y'all Queen attacked. I thought you was playing. I thought you was playing. Drop. Let's be clear. I thought it was light and fun. I did not know you were serious. I don't have no issue with you. I never did. So I wouldn't have came up there.
See, this will happen.
I wouldn't have came up there and attacked you. So don't start with a lie. If you
are you gonna allow me? Are you gonna allow me to finish?
Just don't start with a lie. Just be real. That's weird.
It's intent and impact. Jesus. It may have not been your intent to insult me, but you can't tell me when to be insulted. I was seriously going to address Manny.
I never insulted because you insecure.
I never addressed you. Insult has nothing to do with security. or insecurity. Neither. But nevertheless. So you see what's happening now? I came up here to speak to you and they're interjecting towards me and I'm not even addressing them. So that's what happened on Manny's live.
But come
I
on,
went to
drop. Now
speak
you
to,
know you done made a content video. You done called us
You
out.
need to be addressing
but
me.
you're not
Really.
but now you're not listening
But
to
my
me.
thing is this: when it's time to be adults and talk about
But
right and
now
wrong,
you're
when
not
it's time,
listening to hear me out.
well,
So this is the
hold
same thing
on.
that
We
happened on
don't
Manny's
want you
live.
here.
We don't
It's
owe
the same
respect
thing.
after being disrespected. We don't owe you respect after you have
Okay,
disrespected us. I
that's
just want you
Right.
to
fine. But
know
y'all
that.
say
Like, girl, you
you
done talked
say
about my man, my kids, me, all
that
type of shit.
that's God ain't talk
You
about
were
your children
Yeah,
at
very
you
all.
did. You said I couldn't
disrespectful.
have kids. We heard that as well.
So how can I be talking about your children if I
So
said you
what's
couldn't have
wrong with
kids? You
just an
evidently thought you
Girl,
didn't
apology
you
have
said I
You
couldn't
ain't
have
talking
kids.
about
kids.
Quay at all. Straight up.
You
What's
evidently
wrong
thought
with
I
just an
thought you didn't have
apology?
kids.
This girl, she
So
can't be an adult. That's the problem.
So
You an internet.
well,
You
I
a
can be an
goddamn
adult when
AI.
I'm
You
addressing
don't know how to be
adults.
an adult.
You don't know how to be an
dressing
adult. I
adults.
came up here to have a conversation
But
with
Jesus.
she's
you,
a
and you
child under
keep
you, bro. Don't come for her.
interjecting.
No, no, no,
That's the
She
no.
had
same thing
daughter.
happened in Manny's live. That's the same thing happened last night.
Okay,
Girl,
does
just talk.
anybody
These
have
are
a
Say
the
what,
clip?
say what
exact
you
Let me
came to
things
ask.
that
say, girl.
happened.
Does anybody have a clip of what happened after Quay won? That's what we can play. Because my thing is this, drop queen.
What
We're
happened after
adults.
Quay one is I'm
We're
telling you if you
adults.
allow
Give
me
me
to
a
tell you.
second. I think that adults should be able to have a good grown conversation. So you said that Quay was disrespectful to you. And I'm telling you, at least 9 out of 10 people said you were disrespectful to Quay. So if that's the next thing that we need to prove, I'm here for it. Does
So
anybody?
are you going to hear me out? So you just heard my attorney say that the first time I went up there to address Manny and Queen Jules and tell them what they're doing is not the rules. Quay said, "Get out of here, get out of here," and Manny dropped me. So after everything was over, I went back up there to address Manny and Queen Jules, like Poetic Art Ian said that I should have done, which I was only intended to do. I had no intentions on addressing Quay at all because she didn't control it.
I
She was
won
only
drop.
a
So do you see
contestant
how
too.
you just how you said that
Okay, so yeah,
you
I'm
can't
gonna go.
control
So
my
you see what
feelings?
I'm talking about? This is the
Girl,
exact
please.
same thing
I
that
won.
happened
So
in
like I
Okay,
Manny's
so
said,
life.
I
you can't
dropped her, and
control
let me
my
tell
feelings.
y'all why. I dropped her because she has been so disrespectful for the last couple of days, and to even have her up here is making my ass itch. I feel like that she has been very disrespectful, and I would love to hear how the incident went. She's not going to admit that she was wrong. This was between her daughter and Quay, not her and Quay. And I think that even after the ruling tonight, she still wants to justify her right and wrong being different. You were wrong. You cursed this young lady out that on something that had nothing to do with you. And I will say this, I am a mother, and we tend to get in our kids' business. We tend to get in our kids' business, especially if we think they don't want something. But at the end of the day, this was not your business, and you were disrespectful. And so the right thing to do is to come up here and just simply apologize, or don't try to go back down through there when we heard it in 4K. That's
Especially after having a
I don't care
non-biased
to do
jury.
with the disrespect
Can
to
I
me.
say something really quick, sis? Y'all don't mind? I just want to, I mean, a little digressing just a little bit, but just to conclude with the court, it was amazing. It was long. It was interesting. But what I found most appealing to me was the fact that how you and Break King interacted and the peace and the unity that came through this event. I listened to the gentleness in his voice addressing you. And that is my big takeaway from the mess.
Right.
And for that alone, this was worth every bit of it. And granted, I got 5 kids. I understand. I am a momager. My kids played sports. I did everything but go beat up the referee and some more stuff. So I completely understand. But when they win, and it's not the baby's fault. It's not the participants' fault. So it's either the refs or the manager, or the way things are set up. So we have to be mindful of that, gather our temperament, and be more understanding. And I'll land my plane. I just want to say I peeped the unity. I peeped the peace. It was beautiful.
So, Nitra, I do just want to come in and say, Well, I'm sorry, Erica. Just let me get this off my chest real quick. So I was there the entire time. Drop is right about one thing. She did come up to address Manny and Queen Jules immediately after Quay was crowned the winner. Immediately after. Quay didn't have 60 seconds to bask in her glory of winning this title, right? Before Drop Queen came up, inserted herself like she said we were doing just now. You know, her name should be Queen Insert Myself. But she inserted herself in this situation right after Quay had won her title, right? The one thing that she is right about is that Quay did, you know, in Bray King, I'm glad he was here because he's the one that's always known to do it. As soon as somebody come up on the panel in a jokingly way, he says, get her out of here. Get her out of here. So Quay did do that. She did that first as Drop Queen was trying to tell Manny and Queen Jules that
I shouldn't have won. So what I'm supposed to do?
Right. So in that, Quay was actually joking. Immediately, Drop Queen's response to Quay in that moment was, something, bitch, shut the fuck up, bitch. So it went from a joking, lighthearted situation to absolute insults, which basically told everybody in the room, all one
That she was a hater.
that, you know, the issue was really with Quay and not with the rules. Secondly, about the issue with the rules. I understand that everybody voted. It is what it is. If it was me and I'm managing my children, right? Once I see contestant number 2 get up there and number 3 is dressed like a fucking bunny rabbit, right? I'm not even getting ready to take anything else seriously after that. I know that it's all in fun. Right. I know that every initial rule that I had planted in my head to win is going out the window. I definitely wouldn't convince my child to get up there and compete and win by default, right? I want my child, if my child is going to win, I want you to be an absolute winner. I don't want you to win by default because here, put on this black shirt, put on these black shorts. Here's the wine cooler. Here's the cup. Here's the plate. Now you're going to be forced to win because you actually followed all the rules when the other 8 contestants didn't. That's actually having your child win by default.
Exactly.
Which is really not a title at all. So that's all I wanted to say.